Hello and welcome back to the second week of the Red Zone. As you can see, the production value has gone through the roof. We're here at Mercer University Stadium a couple days after their triumphant return to college football. It was a pretty great atmosphere the other night, and although we're not here to talk about Mercer football, we do have the access to the stadium right next to our office.
Stadium's right next door, yeah.
Why not come over? So first we're going to go through some games from week one, and then we'll talk about some of the things that happened in week two. Going back to the first week, I think one of the biggest storylines for us was Barney Hester.
Right.
He goes to Howard after winning 11 state championships and 300 plus wins at Tattnall, and Howard's lost 24 in a row, and he wins his first game at Howard.
Yeah, I talked to Barney yesterday actually and asked him about that, and he said, Daniel, I've won a couple of state championships, but I've never seen a group of kids who were that happy and a fan base who was that happy to win a game. And just an amazing, amazing way to start the season. You have to be happy for those Howard kids because they've put in so much work for the last few years and don't get any reward on Friday night. And to see them get the reward on Friday night is just something special. And I know he really enjoyed it and was really excited about it.
And he got he sent me the same text after the game on Friday night that he had never been around a group of kids that was that excited. Just because they've gone through so much depression and sadness after games, they don't. You don't want a team to become so complacent that they don't care about wins or losses, and certainly this team doesn't. And it showed how much excitement they had when they did win.
Well, you hear people talking about, oh, our kids work hard. All these kids work hard. And to work like that and not get any reward out of it is really difficult. So it's great to see them get a win Friday night.
And keeping with the Barney theme, his old school Tattnall Square is off to a good start, 2-0 under new coach Clint Morgan, who came from Frederica. Best case scenario for both schools.
Yeah.
Barney goes over to Howard and has success, and Clint comes into Tattnall and has had some success.
And they've only given up 2 points in 2 games. Outscored the two teams 42-2, and just played really well. Really excited about it. They've got a big game this week at John Millage that we'll talk about later. But good start for Tattnall, and they have to be really excited as well.
It's one of those things where Barney's teams always got better as the season went on.
Yep.
And if Clint's team's going to follow that same track, and all these guys played for Barney last year, they could be a championship contender, and we could be covering them in this stadium
right here,
at the end of the season, as the GISA championship games will be here at Mercer at the end of the year. Now, I was down in Warner Robins in Houston County for Northside's opener, ranked number 2 in the state in 5A, playing another ranked team in Flower Branch. And it's just amazing that they don't have any drop-off. No matter who leaves, they lose the best player in Middle Georgia last year, Keyshawn Hill, and they go out there and score at will, and probably could have been a little bit better offensively if not for some penalties. They're going to be a very, very, very good team by the end of the season.
Well, you told me before the season you went and saw them in the scrimmage and just how impressive they were athletically. A lot of size, and they're going to be really good. And, I mean, that's not a surprise. We know Northside's going to be good most years. I mean, they've won double digits every year since, 98? Mm-hmm. And they just keep rolling, and Coach Kinsler's done a terrific job. Hasn't lost a regular season game since he's been the head coach. They've won 32 straight overall in the regular season. It's remarkable to watch them and just how they continue to roll on. Like you said, they lose talent, they bring new talent in, and they don't ever seem to be worried about it. They just know somebody else is going to step up and get the job done.
And a lot of other noteworthy success in Warner Robins the other night. You get Houston County picks up their first win under new coach Vaughn Lassiter. They got a big game this week at Tift County. And Warner Robins gets a really big scare from veterans. Coach Bruce's team at Veterans has been looking for that signature win to get them jump-started, and they almost got it against a Warner Robins team that's ranked.
It was a one-score game in the fourth quarter, and then Warner Robins scored and put it away. So Veterans, I think, has to be happy about that. And you can't – you really have to tip your cap to Veterans for going out, and they'll play anybody. I mean, they're starting the season with Northside and Warner Robins. I mean, and then they play a 5A school in Harris County in week 3. So – and then they jump right into region play. So they really are not scared to play anybody, and that's got to help them once they get later in the season.
All right, so looking ahead to this week, Peach County is at Baldwin. That has been a very big game over the last few years. It's been a boost for Peach County. The year they won the state championship, it really was that game that sent them on their path. And it's been a catalyst for them over the years a number of times, and they've really kind of owned the series the last few years. And I think this year they're looking for that similar confidence boost by heading to Milledgeville.
And they've got a lot of talent. But they're young, and that's the thing about Peach County. But Greg Williams is back at quarterback, and
a lot of experience.
I think he's going to do a good job for them. He played well last week against Perry. This should be an interesting game because Baldwin, you wonder what Baldwin's going to be able to do this year. I know they've been pretty good the last few years, but I think Peach County is going to be a team that later on in the season we're talking quite a bit about.
Northeast is going to play Central here in town. Central, again, coming off a really big loss last week to Westside. Northeast is really trying to, I believe, get in that mix with Lamar County and Bleckley at the top of the region. Now, they've lost a lot of playmakers from last year's team, but Davion Anderson's back under center. Huge game on Friday night against Twiggs, rushed for 180 yards, threw for over 100 yards. His development and playmaking ability is going to be key this year to Northeast, being one of those top teams in Region 4 AA.
And he is really good. And you know, Central has struggled to open the season like they did last year. They lost to Westside again. They need a confidence boost from winning this game if they could pull off the upset to beat Northeast. But Northeast, I think, like you said, I think they're going to be a team down the line that's going to have to be reckoned with.
And the other big game that we have this week, I think, is Mary Persons up in Gray at Jones County. Both teams are playoff contenders for sure. Jones County in a very tough region with the Warner Robins schools. Mary Persons in a region that, you know, who knows what's going to happen in that region. With maybe all the teams in the region have a chance to make the playoffs. But Mary Persons wants to win that first region championship since the late 90s. And a win against Jones County, they've already got a nice win to start the season against Jackson. They really got a lot of momentum if they can win this game, and the same with Jones. Jones is going into a really tough region against two of the better teams in the state. Yeah. They want some momentum as well. It's
amazing to think Mary Persons hasn't won a region title in that long, because the program is a really good program. Coach Nelson's done a really good job since taking over, and they had a good year last year, won 10 games. This is a big-time game in this area, and to see these two teams playing each other, both of them, like you said, be playoff contenders, I think it's going to be a really interesting game over in Gray Friday night.
And congratulations goes to our Player of the Week, Tori Bundridge, the quarterback from Howard, instrumental in their win on Friday night over East Lawrence, getting them off that 24-game losing streak. Made big plays as quarterback, and also had a big interception and got a fourth down late in the game to win the game. Now that's it for this week of the Red Zone. Maybe next week will be from a blimp or even something even bigger, but keep coming back, and hopefully we'll keep upping the production value.